Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was supposed to be up at 7:30 as per my schedule, but I've been knocked up. Thanks, BMPA. Thanks, Firoz. Okay, 15 minutes. I have just got 120 slides. No jokes apart, not that much, but yeah, I'll have to quickly go through. The intent is not to share what we do, what we have, but to share how digital we see as the future. What role do we see ourselves playing along with you? And why it's important to embrace digital. So here goes. Okay. So first, the presentation, as you see, is nothing to do with machines right now. It's all about taking the leap. And it's the synonym we would like to associate with going digital. It's like taking a leap of faith. We are there to help you take that leap of faith. And there are not only products, but services and consultancy that we do to enable people to take that leap. You must all know Canon acquired OSE, which is one of the largest professional print companies in the world, in 2010. And the aim was only one for this acquisition, to create global leadership in printing. And why did we do that? The reason we did it was because we saw a lot of synergy. Let me give you a brief about Canon. Canon was formed in 1937. OSE was formed in 1877. So from a perspective of printing, OSE is far older than Canon, and they know what printing is all about. If you look at the product portfolio, you will see only the red digital production printers in Canon, but on the OSE side, you will see they're fairly strong in actual commercial printing as well as wide format printing. And we saw this synergy to bring this acquisition about. Why did we do it? We wanted to bring value back to you. They always, in the last 2-3 years, we've always seen a positive response from our customers. We are today the largest printing organization in the world. The amount of gamut of printers that we have surpasses no one. In India, we started our journey into digital printing in 2007. Since then, we've been enabling the digital journey in India. We did the launch in IPEX South Asia. And Kyosei is our philosophy. That's the Canon's global philosophy. It means actually imbibing and working together for common good. It's not just a mission or a vision statement that Canon has on the walls. Every employee of Canon the world over imbibes it very, very thoughtfully. You've all been to Drupa at some time or the other. We've been doing various global researches along the Drupa lines, and I would like to share some of them with you. The reports are there if you would like to download them, or if you want to go through them, we can offer it to you to read. But it's a 50-60 pager report or a 80 pager report. I've just summed it up. In 2008, we did this research with Frank Romano, who's very well known in the print industry. And it stated that by 2020, offset revenues will decline. Worldwide, we've already seen that happening. Offset revenues are declining at a CAGR of 6%. There are only 2 countries that we see majorly defying this trend. One is India and the second is China, where offset printing still continues to grow. And it's good news. 90% of the businesses see costs rising faster than the revenues in the western part of the world. And thereby you saw in 2008 to 2010, a lot of printing companies winding up. 72% believe they need to change. 70% believe biggest revenue growth during the next 5 years is digital color. 87 look out for business development help from current suppliers. And the small digital-only print service provider will undergo a renaissance. In 2009, we did another report, which is about CRD trends and opportunities. And it said that in-house digital press can save money over outsourcing the digital prints. But 65% of them of the people save less than 10% or don't know what they're saving. So in all, like the gentleman before me, the expert before me was saying, it's all about costs and knowing where the money is. Some small solutions that have been existing in India but have not been very well used are web to print. Now, when I say web to print, there are solutions available from 3 lakhs and can go up to multiple lakhs. But believe you me, in the digital part, this has saved a lot of money for people where we've deployed even a small solution as between 3 to 5 lakhs. What it does is it saves manual errors. So in simple things like printing visiting cards, there are 3 case studies that we have where 8% cost was saved just on account of manual errors. Because it's an online system, the customer can place orders online, do the soft proof, and just get on with the printing. So these are very small solutions, but can enable you to save cost. In 2010, that was one of the biggest surveys that we've ever done. We conducted about 840 interviews across the world. 65% actually people were in Europe because we structured this in Europe. But there were some in Asia, about 10% in Asia. We also went back to some of the interviewees in 2008. And we found that actually people, 11% of the respondents from 2008 had either merged or 6% had gone out of business. And why did that happen? People who embraced change saw benefits. People who didn't embrace change saw revenues falling. So there was a decline in run lengths that we saw everywhere. Maybe in India, it's not so prevalent today, but already we are talking to large print firms where they're saying, for example, in books, today the print lengths are coming down to as low as 5,000 or lesser, where the print lengths were about 50,000 earlier. So people are embracing shorter run lengths today. Even Mr. Ramu is there at the back. One of his research shows that most of the, I think about 30% of the print run lengths are now around 5,000. One of the latest research done by Print Week India. There's been a significant increase in technology. We've all seen from 2008, it's been known as the inkjet drupa. You've seen a lot of technologies. Some of them are in the real world today. Very proud to say OSE is leading this inkjet domain, and I'll show you how. But the percentage of revenue on toner and inkjet, specifically digital, is going up, whereas on litho is coming down. This is very, very interesting. Service providers with digital printing said, almost 60% said that digital printing helped them increase revenues or profits. Whereas people who had only commercial prints, almost 41% said they had decreased revenues and profits. So we're not saying that offset and digital or digital is going to overpower offset in times to come. We don't see that happening in India or all the world over. But for sure, digital can add value to your business and add value to your customers and help you increase revenues or stop that slope which is going to come very soon. There have been various research done by Infotrends. 2 of these latest research are here. I don't want you to go through these charts, but I've summed it up for you. Again, these are reports that run into about 80 to 100 pages. The print service providers that grew 10% or more attributed the highest share of their revenues to value-added services. It's not only about being digital, but adding value to the customer in terms of services that you give. And I think this change is already coming in people who have embraced digital quite a lot. So you will have to see that digital is the future. It's not only about print. Today, everyone, including some of you as I'm speaking, are on the phone. And the reason is digital enables that connectivity for you. If you look at the e-governance initiatives, it's about digital India today. Everyone is speaking, including, even corporates are talking about the way Mr. Modi is looking at digital India. And I think in the end, in next 10 years, you'll see everything revolving in India around digital, whether it's information, or whether it's print, or whether it's to do with communication. And you need to be a part of this ecosystem, and digital can enable you to give these value-added services. The service providers with declining revenues attributed the highest value to conventional printing. 41% of the people said those were pure conventional printers that we've seen decline in revenues. And many print service providers are developing new services and evolving to marketing services. Now, this is a new concept maybe for you, maybe some people have talked to you about this, but value-added services doesn't mean getting a digital printer in-house and starting to print digitally, but building an ecosystem around it. What can digital enable you? How can digital enable you to give value-added services? Can you do, for example, even EDMs, which means have a creative person in-house, and if you're going to a customer, talk about even doing the electronic presentment of the communication rather than only print. Can you do cross-media for them? And these are things that have already evolved in the west part of the world and are already in Asia Pacific today. Some of the customers, I think, one customer in Mumbai itself, we have with Canon, who's already talking cross-media and already doing cross-media. So it's here, but it's in very apex. So we could say innovators are going to this phase, and there are many more who need to follow, but you'll have to start from somewhere. Maybe make a few mistakes, but you will need to evolve and change, and we can help you do that. Also, there are some printers who have formed a niche for themselves into niche segments, and they're also profiting. So you will need to choose your own domain. Do you want to be a niche printer, cater to that segment and be profitable, or you need to be catering to the larger masses with maybe digital as an offering? So high growth firms clearly understand that today's market isn't about competing from print, but they're competing across entire value chain from strategy to fulfillment. So please, I would urge you, start thinking about that. How can you be a part of the strategy of your customer? And for that, we need a very different outlook. You, instead of talking to the guy who places order for prints, might have to talk to the CMO of the organization and talk to him, what are your marketing strategies looking like for the year? And if you do that, now you are not a cost center, but you're maybe talking to the CMO and enabling his marketing strategy where he has got more funds. And we've seen some very good examples here. I can't cite the name because of NDA that we've signed, but there's a customer who's a transactional printer in India, and he went back to the purchase guy and he said, oh, there's a tender, you need to print this much. This is 20% reduction in cost needed. He said, forget it. I am going to give you 30% reduction in cost, but you need to give me 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch square on that particular piece of paper as white. And I'll own that square. And I can do anything with it. And he started advertising, and he started selling that space as an advertising space. And it's a very niche example that I'm giving, but a very successful example that happened. So the entire game changed. Now he's earning more revenues from the same customer. Because the customer said, hey, if you can do it, why don't I take that space? And I appoint agencies who can sell that space for me. Why you? So it's all about creating value where there's no value seen. So you'll have to think out of the box. You'll have to think it very carefully, how do you want to create these services? It's not just about the hardware. It's not about digital. You can buy digital from anyone. How do you ensure this value system is created or this ecosystem is created within yourselves? I can cite an example. We were in Germany, and we went to a printer who's bought a digital continuous feed web machine from us, and we asked him, where are your sales guys? He said, I've got 3 sales guys. And we said, you're turning millions of prints. He said, I've got 60 innovators. These 60 guys do nothing but think of new applications that can be churned out from my present ecosystem. That's the thought that's going towards printing today. How can we be innovators and create value? Leap. Why? Because digital is the future. It can help you have new production processes. It can help you cater to new markets. It can cater new business models. It can provide you new opportunities and new revenue streams. We don't believe in just selling the hardware. We can do that. We've got salespeople to do that and justify the ROI if you need. But I think what we would like to see ourselves is being a part of the value chain with you. Understand where your pain areas are, or understand where would you like to see yourself in 2 years, 3 years from now. Because as I said, we have the widest product gamut. And I'll show you the product gamut just to give you an idea. You think of a digital device that is needed today by you. Almost 80% to 90% of your thought process or your requirement can be met by us. So whether it's colors, digital presses in color, very high speed black and white machine. In fact, we have the world's highest speed black and white machine in our portfolio. Whether it's a low-end black and white machine, whether it's wide format inkjet, whether it's technical document systems, whether it's continuous feed printers, or whether you want to print or diversify into photo. We have it all. Let me just show you a glimpse. This is our color press range. Starts from about 20 odd lakhs, can go up to about 80 lakhs. We are increasing the range upwards. Very soon in Pemex, you will see maybe new launches from us. That's the world's highest speed printer. It can print, it's a cut sheet machine. It can do 317 A4 impressions a minute. We have a black and white range, which starts from about 10 lakhs, goes up to about 50 lakhs. Depends on the applications you want to do. The widest inkjet wide format printers we can bring to the table. We have technical document systems for architecture, CAD/CAM, line drawings, etc. that you need, or color wave systems for doing posters. And we have the widest product portfolio in terms of continuous feed inkjet printers, right from 17-inch to 30-inch, from something like maybe 50 meters per minute to about 200 meters per minute plus. So, and this is my favorite because it's the newest baby in our portfolio. That's the Dreamlabor 5000. Looks like a photo studio machine. It actually is. It's replacing the silver halide technology. It's far better in color gamut than that. We already have 4 installations in India. It's a workhorse, can do up to 10,000 square meters a month easily. So it actually replaces a couple of silver halide photo labs as it goes along. I've shown you and maybe convinced you a little on digital and the value add. But why Canon? Why with Canon? The questions that would come to your mind, are you with a leader? Are you secure with Canon? And what lies in the future? So let me just take a couple of slides and tell you that Canon is a growing and a profitable company. We are about a $30 billion company worldwide. Our net income is about $2 billion. So we maintain a very healthy line to our shareholders. We are amongst the top Fortune 500 companies. We are making our global ranking stronger as we go ahead. We invest a lot in R&D. Almost 8 to 10% of our net sales goes into research and development. 8 to 10% of our net sales, not profits. So we invest a lot into this. And it's evident from the number of patents that we have. If you look at the last 10 years US patents, you will see Canon amongst the top 3. Maybe the above us would be IBM. This year was Samsung. Before that was maybe Microsoft. Let me give you, wherever Canon goes, we go with one statement, which is to be number 1. And let me show you how. 12 straight years running, we are number 1 in digital SLR cameras worldwide. We are the number 1 in laser printer engines for the last decade. Since 20 years, we are #1 in monochrome continuous feed printing. We are world #1 in digital web color inkjet presses. We have more than 40% market share worldwide, and in Europe, we have more than 65% market share. We are the world-leading digital workflow software providers. And coming to India, the ImagePress C7000 series was voted by more than 1,000 people in India as the best color digital press in Print Week India poll. And we have the industry's only customer relationship program. If some of you are customers, you would know that that customer relationship program has been working for the last 3 years. Just 2 more minutes. This is my second last slide. Very important for you, we have a direct sales and service model. I think we are the only few companies left who have this direct sales and service model. We've invested about 10 crores recently in a technical and training facility at Noida, where we have most of the production presses there as backup to all our customers. Present installation base in more than 40 cities and growing. By this year end, we'll be in 50 cities. Very, very crucial, the first color digital press that we sold in 2007 is still up and running. Whereas people usually change in 3 to 4 years, our presses are still up and running even after 8 to 9 years. And we are very proud that the highest volume done by a color digital press that we had to really beg the customer to let go is 1 crore A3 prints. New innovations coming our way. The VarioPrint i300 sheet-fed inkjet press. It's not a small press. The way it looks mammoth, it is a mammoth press. You will see that. It's already installed in Europe. If you're coming to Drupa, and I'm sure most of you are, you will see that. ImageStream is a continuous feed machine which can print on standard offset stocks. This is the first inkjet in the world that can print on standard offset stocks. And InfiniStream, I think there would be a big market in India. It's an offset print quality on standard coated cardboard, so flexible packaging. And this will be coming soon. So all these are there in Drupa for you to see. So we have an extensive portfolio. We have a very wide expertise across entire printing system. The last line is life does not and is not about small steps, but taking big leaps. Thank you for your kind attention. That's my email ID. If you need me, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet, for the crisp and informative presentation. I would request our committee member, Tushar Botiga, to give him a bouquet of flowers from the